Hello everyone. Today I will have a fitting of my new tights, and I want to do a fitting. Or rather, to test these tights for weather conditions. So, the first lot. These are like this raspberry. And they are like this, in a mesh, transparent. And the rest of my 3 pairs are black. But there is probably no point in testing them for weather conditions. They are like this, in a mesh. Because I think it won't be visible if they suddenly get wet. Wow, what a beautiful picture. In general, the last ones are like this. Wow. Well, let's try them on and start, of course, from the first ones. Well guys, these are the first tights I'm wearing. Such an unusual beautiful color. I really like the material. This is it. Probably Nylon. That is, the thread is nylon and it goes a little. Probably with some warm thread. Because they are very thick tights. And I would even say warm. And they are also very good stretch. Look how good. The elastic is also really good. And it seems to me that it also stretches pretty well. That's why I think that, by the way, you can make a great costume from these tights. For example. And cool, and if you want to go to a party, you can just wear tights like this. And some blouse on top. And go to some theme party. And I also liked these tights. By very beautiful patterns. Look at all the tights, there is a beautiful pattern. I see some flowers. I see some holes, that is a beautiful ornament. And all over the tights. Also, there are no seams here. I want to draw attention to neither the heels or the shins at all. Anywhere there is no seam. Well, this is how they look. And now I am ready to test these tights for weather conditions. Well guys, I checked my tights for weather conditions. I was walking down the street and it suddenly started raining. And I want to note right away, the tights changed color a little. That is, you can pay attention. I feel really wet here. It's a shame I got caught in the rain, and my tights started sticking really, really tightly to my body. That is, they're really sitting really tightly. I don't feel very comfortable because of this. I think they've gotten colder. Somehow. And more slippery. That's why it's disgusting. Well, there's one plus. This is what if you suddenly get caught in the rain, or fall into a puddle. Then you won't be scared. And it won't be more visible that your tights got wet or something else. So this is a very good option for such tights. Well, I'm ready to move on to the next. And let's quickly check the next ones. So well, we came to our second tights. These are how beautiful they are. Black. Well, some kind of sound. Somewhere noisy. Okay, very, very beautiful. Oh, 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 yes. Be sure to subscribe to me, like, and share this video with your friends. And so, he flew away. Okay, let's continue further. Thanks everyone for subscribing. I love you all very much and miss you. Well, let's move on to our second tights. These are the ones we have. What do I want notice? That there is a really fine mesh here. You can pay attention. It goes all over the tights. And there is also a beautiful pattern. It is an infinity sig. I guess I understand. That these tights will serve you forever. Will not tear. And will be your faithful friend. And I also want to draw your attention. That these tights stretch very well. Look how. Both in length and width. So it's a great optio. Suitable for any girl. As for an oversized girl. As for a small mini girl. What else I wanted them stretch. You can also look at them and put them like this. For example, put a bra on underneath and try on tights like this. And go to some theme party. Or to some beach. Or take a walk. Well, in principle, I think it's pretty good. I would probably add a leather jacket here. And knee-high boots. Well, and bike, of course, bike is missing here. That's what else I wanted to say. Here we have seamless tights are coming. But we have seam one. I found it here. Here I ask you to pay attention to my toes. Small seam. Basically, it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't prick. Everything is very convenient and comfortable. Well, about that. To test these tights for weather conditions. It seems pointless to me, no. Because it won't be visible. And the same as with option 1. They'll just stick to me. Well, I'm ready to move on to the next. Black, and let's try them on next. Okay, and I tried on my third pair of tights. Look at them. Well, basically, it seems to me that all tights, I mean the same type in terms of materials, and the fact that they are fishnet, very warm, I like these. I love tights, but of course you can't wear them in the summer. Unless you go to a party, so I want to draw your attention to the pattern. Look at this beautiful pattern. This stripe. You know, it looks like they used to show movies or cartoons and showed prisoners. Looks like their uniform. Or looks like some kind of lattice. Also here. Lots of patterns, there are circles. There are sticks and stripes. There are just. What is this? I don't know what to call it. In general, these are so beautiful. There are even holes. Beautiful fishnet tights. And they stretch well. Both in length and width. Let's check. Yes, these can be pulled on too. And also make a super costume out of these tights. I think, and of course such a costume will do for some kind of theme party. Or you can wear a bra underneath. Wear these tights. Wear a nice skirt or shorts. High-heeled boots. And go walk. And of course some black hat. And these tights are also good for horse racing. I think they're perfect. I really want to wear these boots. Take a black horse. One that's just varnished. Garnish. And gallop onto the fireplace. So if you're my horse, write to me, I'm waiting for you. And more. What else did I want to say? Well, basically, these tights will go with a skirt, shorts, or just with some pants. For example, in cool weather. And of course for theme parties. Well guys, I think that. By the way, here we also have a seam. Like this small one. Well, basically, it doesn't bother him at all and you can't feel it. We're moving on to our last tights. Well guys. So I tried on my last pair of tights. Look how beautiful they are. Lace. Dressy. In general, what I wanted to tell you about them. On these tights. There is a very fine mesh. Also a large mesh. And of course on these tights there is a completely different pattern, and this we have here, and how is it called? Some flowers. Look like roses, I guess. Well, something like that. You know, those more elegant ones. Elegant tights. They probably suit some spring. Or autumn. When it's so cloudy and you want to see some flowers. At least get some. And also let's check how these tights stretch. Look at this is the maximum. And that is, our latest tights do not stretch as much. like the previous 3 pairs. Well, in principle, it may even be better. Also, we have an elastic band here. By the way, it is really thick. That there is. What is it called? Wide, it is not stretched. That is if I put it on like this. It will be fixed for me. If I put it on lower, then it will be fixed like this and it won't go anywhere. That is a really great pair of tights. And they all come seamless. Except we have a seam at the bottom. But they are very soft to the body. I really like them. That's why I wear them boldly. With a skirt, shorts or a dress. And of course with any pants. Or any types of pants, so to speak. What else did I want to say next? Of course I really like these tights. I probably would. I would make a carp bikini underneath. This one is also black and these tights on top. I would go for a walk like that. I think it turned out it would be great to have such a beautiful suit. For an evening walk. Or for some party. Well, I think my fitting is coming to an end. And write in the comments. Which tights did you like the most? And I apologize that it didn't work out for us. Check for weather conditions. Well, I think it was clear to you anyway. With my first tights. I love you all, kisses, bye bye.